Today, I'm going to be going through 12 different Gorilla Tag maps to see which ones you could actually play tag on in real life. And despite how innocent they all seem in virtual reality, the same can't be said for the real world. And let's just say some of these maps ended up showing their dark sides later on in this video. So the first map we're going to look at is Forest, and I almost completely forgot to mention this important thing in the intro, but we're going to be ranking each map we come across on a scale of 1 to 10 based on how safe they would be in real life. Anyways, even though Forest is the most popular map out of them all, that doesn't mean it's going to be the safest. Yes, it's a forest. You're going to be dealing with trees. And a lot of them. Along with a few obstacles around that you could run into or just straight up fall from. But the area is pretty open, and it's not like you're gonna be on the trees or any of the obstacles all the time. Heck, I've even played tag out in random forests with my friends a few times, so I think we'd be fine if we did in this forest specifically. With that being said, I'm gonna give Forest an 8 out of 10, since you could still run into stuff, despite the area basically being mostly safe. However, that won't be the case for every map on here. For instance, take a look at canyons. This map is horrifying. I mean, you're constantly swinging around on ropes, trembling across tight paths, hoping that you don't end up falling down a huge cliff below you. Like, I can't stress enough how risky the whole place is. In the game, it's fine because you're an indestructible gorilla, but in real life, you would die. Like, straight up. I think we can all agree that canyons would be very dangerous if it was brought to life. So I think I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Next up is the city map. And I think this is going to be an interesting one to cover, since city is divided between a few areas. Luckily, with most of these sections, the only issue would be falling off stuff. And it's not like so much to the point where it's fatal in other maps like canyons. But what I find baffling about city is how these heavy metal crates are lifted by these Cinnamon Toast Crunch looking pipes here. I'm not gonna lie, that whole place might crumble if it was built in real life. Although, that's really the only big issue with this area. So with that being said, I'm gonna give City an 8 out of 10. Now, what about basement? Well, everything here should be fine, right? It's just the basement. It's not like you could wander off into a tiny maze, become tiny, and be prone to a ton of giant hazards, right? Oh. That's the whole point of the map. Okay, I think I need to make it clear here. No, we can't become tiny like the gorillas can in game. But for the sake of being accurate to the map, we're just gonna pretend that the whole area can become giant. While basement is fine, albeit a little small at normal size, when it becomes giant, oh boy, one small fall from anywhere above the maze and you're gone. Not to mention that there are these monsters in the maze called Amonkeyes, and they literally thrust you all the way down to the bottom section of the maze. Yeah, just a tad bit unsafe. I think you get my point. Basement wouldn't be all too safe for playing tag if everything was big. In fact, even if it was at normal size, it wouldn't be big enough for playing tag anyways. No matter what, the map just wouldn't work in real life. And with that, I'll give Basement a 2 out of 10. However, as bad as this map would seem if it was brought into the real world, oh, trust me, some of the upcoming maps will get worse later on. But for now, let's quickly take a look at OG Caves. Similar to City from earlier, this map is split between the actual cave and the underground mines. And just like City, I don't see a problem with messing around here outside of falling from some of the crystals. Except for the fact that you can summon Lucy and she launches players out of mines. Maybe that could rub some people the wrong way, but you'd really have to go out of your way to activate and find her. So at that point, it's not my fault if you're basically asking for trouble here. 6 out of 10. Up next, we've got New Caves. And you know what? I was originally going to give this map a higher score, but recently, the devs randomly flooded the map for no reason and basically ruined everything. I mean, come on. Who thought it was going to be a good idea to not only include a flowing waterfall that leads directly into a huge crystal, but to then flood the already cramped areas and make everything more unplayable? Nah, the map would have been mostly fine without the recent changes, but I guess if it ain't broke, go ahead and mess with it. 4 out of 10. Mountains. This one's pretty simple. No one's gonna want to be playing tag here. There's ice everywhere, some steep slides, that giant fan that launches you up like crazy. I mean, you probably don't want to deal with any of these obstacles, really. Granted, there are a few areas where you aren't slipping around like crazy, but those are really just few and far between. Mountains is just genuinely dangerous, and there's there's no way you're reasonably going to be playing tag here without nearly dying in the process. 2 out of 10 for sure. On a more positive note, here's beach. Honestly, this map just makes a lot more sense to play tag at. I mean, if you went up to someone and asked them if they would rather play tag at a normal beach or somewhere like mountains, they're obviously picking the beach. And as much as I just want to give this map a good score and move on, this beach isn't like the other ones in real life. No, no, no. You see, for some reason this map just decided to want to be different from everyone else, and it built itself over a cliffside. Yeah, sure. Not like people aren't going to be taking fall damage over here. Not only that, but beach also wanted to be like canyon so much to the point where it literally added more ropes and zip lines they could fall off of. Great. Wait, did I forget to mention this is a beach? Because there's still a ton of water here, and you could still drown in it and stuff, you know? Oh, and one last thing. There's a shark here now. And even though sharks aren't as dangerous to us compared to other sea animals, I'm still not taking my chances on playing tag with a literal shark. So yeah, I guess looks can be deceiving after all. 4 out of 10. Alright, Metropolis. I'm gonna be honest, this map could actually work out in real life. It's basically a miniature city with a ton of unique areas and different structures around every corner. Plus, Metropolis is surrounded by shallow water, which hey, at least it's not deep enough to drown most people. Although, to be fair, you could still get hurt by falling from the buildings or from the bouncy cargo ships. But come on, it's nowhere near as dangerous as places like mountains or basement. So for that, I'm gonna give Metropolis a 7 out of 10. But hey, you wanna know what is dangerous though? This. Yeah, are we even surprised at this point? Oh boy, where do I even begin with clouds? Okay, first off, can we talk about the gliders for a second? I won't lie, it would be pretty fun to fly up in the sky with them, but you legit have no equipment and are probably gonna end up going so fast that you're legit gonna crash in a nearby tree without even noticing. Not to mention that if you don't got any gliders on you, navigating through this map is legit agony. Like, do you even know how long it takes to even get up to the top without using a glider? It's straight up torture. Oh, and let me remind you that this map is huge. So if you fall from any point, you're dead. Like, no questions asked. Nobody's surviving a fall that big. And for the last little cherry on top, let's just say that you're gonna chill at the bottom, right? Guess what? You're still gonna be dealing with a giant tornado in the middle. Need I say more? Chaos. I mean, clouds is getting a 1 out of 10. You knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Everybody knew. Alright, I know that we've just been through a lot of pretty normal maps so far, but you gotta trust me on this. There's still a couple of wacky maps that we gotta go through in this video. Well, let's head up to the roof of Stump and check out the attic first. And I gotta say, attic's kinda weird. This area basically revolves around building your own maps with whatever parts you could find. And I don't know, man. I just can't justify ranking this one on a normal scale, since people could either make the most peaceful buildings or the most deadly contraptions to ever exist. I'll just give this a question mark out of 10, since it's really up to the builder how suitable the creation would be for playing tag. I don't know, man. At long last, we finally reached the last map we're going to be looking at today, and that map is the arcade. Now, I know what you're going to be thinking. Somehow, the Gorilla Tag devs are going to make a literal arcade map unplayable for tag, right? Well, wouldn't it be surprising to tell you that I nearly couldn't find anything dangerous about this map? No, I'm not joking. I literally almost couldn't find anything. It's literally just a real-life arcade joint in-game. But then I realized it's just like an arcade joint, and they have large machines that you can ram yourself into. Oh well, it's pretty much just a basement situation without the whole becoming small thing. So I'll give arcade a 9 out of 10. Alright, that's all the maps. And